Shooter Breeze topic number 4 says how Haiti helped to create the USA. This comes with a link that takes us to YouTube. A little bit of a change. What we'll do is we will watch this video. It's about a 9-minute video, and then we'll discuss it.
Haiti is one of two countries, along with the Dominican Republic, located on the island of Hispaniola in the Caribbean. With a land size of 27,750 square kilometers, or 10,714 square miles, and an estimated population of 11.4 million persons, Haiti is the third largest Caribbean territory by land size and the territory with the largest population. Despite such large figures, in comparison to countries outside the Caribbean, Haiti would be considered a small country. One may therefore ask, what impact can such a small country make? Well, let's investigate an interesting account of how Haiti helped to create one of the largest countries in the world and one of the most powerful economies in human history, the United States of America. In 1803, the United States purchased 827,000 square miles of land west of the Mississippi River from France for US $15 million. In today's money, that would be equivalent to US $600 billion. This land purchase allowed the United States to acquire land that, in today's geographical terms, would make up 15 states and parts of 2 Canadian provinces. The purchase increased not only the United States land acquisition and ownership, but it also increased their chances of attaining wealth, becoming the world's foremost economic and military power. The purchase of such a vast expanse of land would not have been possible for the Americans if it were not for a resilient group of freed slaves on a small island in the Caribbean and a panicking French emperor. The French Empire controlled the territory of Louisiana, which was called the Louisiana Territory of New France, from 1699 to 1762. It was then ceded to the Spanish during the Treaty of Fontainebleau in 1762. This gave the Spanish vast amounts of untapped land, which was further cemented with France's defeat to Spain during the 7 Years' War, which was fought between 1756 and 1763. This allowed for Spain to control everything west and Britain to control everything east of the Mississippi River. The British controlled everything east of the river until 1776 with the success of the American Revolution. All that changed in the year 1800 when Napoleon Bonaparte was introduced as the first French consul of the French Republic. Napoleon was the new face of French power and the French identity after the events of the French Revolution, which lasted for a decade from 1789 to 1799. In a secret meeting labeled the Third Treaty of San Ildefonso, France exchanged territories in Tuscany, Italy, for the colony of Louisiana with Spain. Then President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, had expressed the newly formed United States' intention of purchasing the port city of New Orleans first, and then purchasing lands in Louisiana step by step. The Americans saw Spain as a weakening power, but France's regaining of the colony sparked fear and concern, with Jefferson stating that the acquisition of land by France under Napoleon would cause the Americans to seek allegiance with their former masters, Britain, and might even spark a newly reformed slave trade or task force regime. The possibility of the Americans acquiring the land seemed unlikely, and France's newly refreshed dominance in the Western Hemisphere seemed on the rise, until Haiti. The Haitian Revolution began in 1791 and lasted until 1804. What happened during that time on the Caribbean territory, then known as Saint Domingue, was nothing short of bloody, gruesome, and chaotic. However, the impact of the event changed history forever. After the end of the French Revolution in 1799, the ideals of equal rights for all human beings rang throughout the Americas and the Caribbean. However, the revolution had left France in financial difficulty. As a result, heavy tariffs were placed against planters stationed in Haiti who were importing produce from France. The Haitian planters, in return, were not allowed to trade with any other external power. This limited growth in a colony that was, by far, the crown jewel of the Kingdom of France. The colony produced 40% of all sugar and 60% of all coffee imported by Europe, and France sent over 800,000 African slaves to Haiti. That's more than double the number of slaves sent by France to the entire North American continent. Revolutionaries such as Toussaint Louverture and Jean Jacques Dessalines were the main champions of the revolution, leading strategic military advances against French troops, defeating both the French army and the navy. Louverture was captured and died in prison in 1803, 1 year before the end of the revolution. Dessalines finished the task, leading a final successful revolt in 1804, signaling the birth of the Second Republic in the Western Hemisphere after the United States, and the first independent state governed by ex African slaves in history. The Haitian Revolution left a deep scar on the military might and the resources of the French kingdom turned empire, with over two-thirds of all French troops that were sent to Haiti being killed. The loss of the colony also hurt France economically, giving way for Napoleon to consider other ways of acquiring money to fund his war efforts, especially his advances throughout Europe. US President Thomas Jefferson did not recognize the Haitian state in an effort to build a good relationship with France, with the aim of acquiring New Orleans and some of the territory from the Louisiana colony. Things worked out even better for the Americans. The loss of Haiti was so great to France that Napoleon, in desperation for funds, sold the entire colony of Louisiana, all 827,000 square miles of it, to the United States for $15 million. Result: the Louisiana Purchase more than doubled the size of the United States, allowing them to acquire lands that later on would be discovered as having precious minerals and resources such as gold and oil. The Louisiana Purchase in today's money costs over US $600 billion, and today the land purchase is well worth over US $2 trillion. Because of the initiative of a few African slaves on a Caribbean island and the willingness of a French emperor to sell, the United States, though already birthed, truly began to bloom, paving the way in becoming the massive expanse of land and the economic superpower that it is today.
Good stuff. I like when people succinctly kind of break down a history and bring it forward. Now, there's some in America that would say that because of Haiti and the uprising and revolt, that it made slavery in America even harsher. So I'm hoping that someone kind of addresses that during this panel discussion. So should we start number 4? How Haiti helped to create the USA. Let me start with RBG. Real Black Gentleman, what's it?
Well, that's just to say that, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? People's down in Haiti was, I mean, that just shows the fragility really of white capital. I mean, we to sit here and say that you have a stake in such a large piece of land and that you're fighting a war against, you know what I'm saying, black people, and that you basically had to liquidate whole chunks of land that, you know, you haven't even stepped foot on. They really even try to like get anything out of it. You just had to like fire sale that, because I need capital. You know what I'm saying? I need gold. I need resources. I need to be able to float financiers. You know, it's funny. It's like you know what I'm saying? But that just shows the power of black people. When you look at what white people had to do just to, you know what I'm saying, try to like leverage something out of the deal. I mean, that's a good turf, good chunks of land. Like going back to what I was saying, I think I was saying it last week. It's just like the idea of like that chunk of land should have been naturally like that's if that was ever Indian land, all that is Indian land, all that Louisiana Purchase, all that what's of that. All I mean, you know, it was never really designed for the people who's already here. And no kind of sense of like giving black people who work the land a piece of this land here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's absolutely correct. I mean, it really didn't do it in a direct way. It was very inadvertent just because like, you know, because of what Haiti was doing on the ground. Like, I mean, it's just incidental, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still, no matter how you look at it, it's still misappropriation. I mean, as a black person in America, like, you know, I mean, it's hard to like be west of the Mississippi. I mean, people are going to move around because they're going to move around, and the ability of black people to do that where they are in spite of political or whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I really wish we didn't have to necessarily. I wish there was like a string of islands. You know what I'm saying? I wish. I mean, the only thing that black people can do to be strong, if we're going to be strong in the world, is that, you know, in spite of a lot of this, you know, I mean, I don't even want to talk about this. You know what I'm saying? The Haitian people, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know what I'm saying? They did so much fighting and they did so much resistance that, you know what I'm saying? I said what I said, that the whole world powers have to liquidate, you know what I'm saying, whole chunks of territory. And that's like obscene. So I'm just going to leave it there.
I appreciate that, RBG. Let's keep the track going with blacks or Africans in America. Let's hear from Anthony. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Haiti was the richest colony. Haiti was France's richest colony. You remember at that time, France didn't have colonies in Africa at that time. No, they would later have like in the mid to late 19th century. They didn't have colonies. All of their colonies were basically in the Caribbean. You know, it was like Martinique and Guadeloupe, and I think it may have been, you know, places like Grenada, Dominica to an extent. You know, they went back and forth between, you know, the British and the French, and but you know, Haiti was such a rich colony. I was looking at something what he was talking about, that all that Haiti provided, you know, that the enslaved African people provided, from you know, the indigo, the gold, you know, the sugar cane, and I don't know, tobacco, all kind of stuff, all kind of products, you know, that they provided, you know, to the French economy, and which was circulated around, you know, because the French were trading with the British and, you know, and other Europeans, you know, and they had the whole triangular trade, you know, from France, you know, in Europe to Africa and to the Caribbean, and then back, you know, to Europe and everything. That what they call the triangular trade. I mean, the profits were humongous, and so you know, so it was vital for the French war machine. You know, I mean, for them to be able to wage war, and, you know, and just imagine just to lose that kind of colony. You know what I'm saying? You know, to not have that kind of wealth no more. You can't form your arm. I mean, you can't fund your military campaigns. You know what I'm saying? You can't pay your soldiers. You know what I mean? It probably had an effect on the local French government. You know, your politicians, your civil service, and things like that. Because a lot of them were probably plantation owners. You know what I'm saying? They probably own the states down there because that was that was a big slave trade. But 800,000. They brought 800,000 Africans, across the ocean to come in and get worked to death on the island of Haiti. You know what I'm saying? Some of them, a lot of, I think the average life of an African enslaved African man and woman and child during the slavery period was like 7 years, 5 to 7 years. So that means you had to bring some more to replace them. And then think about the impact, like you said, the impact that it had on what would become the America, gaining, nearly 1 million square miles in land. You know what I'm saying? And I like what you said, Coco, about you saying what you talking about, the impact that it had on the slave owners, particularly in the southern United States, and them enacting legislation and everything to make slavery harder on the enslaved Africans in the southern United States, or in all of the areas where they are enslaved African people. Well, you know what? Okay, they enact legislature, to make things more stringent, make things more harder, but it didn't hurt, but it didn't help none. Because you know what? 1831 was after 1803, and Nat Turner still revolted. You know what I'm saying? Denmark
Right.
Vesey still tried to revolt. You know what I'm saying? Gabriel Prosser still tried to revolt. 1811 in Louisiana, a former French colony. Charles Deslong, a Haitian, a man who was born in Haiti, a Haitian, French father, African mother. He was born in Haiti. Him, along with a brother, an African from the Gold Coast, from Ghana, named Kwamina, led the rebellion in 1811 in Louisiana, known as the German Coast Rebellion. You know what I'm saying? So it did it might have scared the white folks, scared the white settlers, but it actually encouraged the Africans. You know what I'm saying? They're because they say now we got a place where we won. Our people won down in Haiti. They free. And remember, Dessalines said, if you're a black man, you're an African, and you're in slavery, you escape slavery, you can come here, and you're gonna be free. So the impact. It was two impacts. It was a detrimental impact for the Europeans, but it was a positive impact for the Africans because see now we know we got somewhere we can go. And it was always a threat. They even said that they thought, look at the white folks in America thought that Nat Turner's rebellion, that the other brother Gabriel Denmark Vesey and Gabriel Prosser's rebellion, and there were other rebellions besides them. After them, they always and the Africans in Florida. Don't you know the white folks thought that they was all inspired by by Haitians. They thought it was inspired by Haiti, man. We got these free, they would think like there was even a conspiracy that Denmark Vesey, because see, Denmark Vesey was a sailor. After he became a free man, he was a sailor and he used to travel to Haiti. He traveled to Haiti and he went back and forth from Haiti to I think South Carolina or whatever it was, to the States. And they say that he used to spread literature around about freedom to the Africans. He used to go back and forth from Haiti. He had ties to Haiti. And so the American government, they thought that, hey, they even put more pressure on the Haitian government because they thought that they was trying to fund slave rebellions in America. And I'll knock off right there.
Appreciate that, Anthony. Just a wealth of knowledge when it comes to Anthony. Black Seal, what say you? How Haiti helped to create the USA?
Well, I think it's a well-known but somewhat of an overlooked historical coincidence, historical fact. I remember reading about this in a book called by Howard Zinn, A People's History of the United States, among other sources. But this is not the acquisition of the so-called Louisiana territory was not a net positive for the world, especially for the African and the indigenous population who mainly made up that area. Because France's control over the Louisiana, they call it New France. They really didn't settle that much of the land. They built New Orleans, but much of the French, with their colonization, really involved like trading furs. So they didn't make any like large. They didn't multiple large scale settlements in the West, like like the British did with Virginia and New York and the Carolinas. They mostly had their cities, but they're mostly dependent on trade and furs with the Native Americans. That's kind of what they did. So theirs was a light hand, right? If we're talking about how the French colonized North America, it wasn't quite so. They weren't. There wasn't a lot of Frenchmen in that territory, as opposed to the English colonies, where you had literally millions of, like 2, 3 million people in the 13 colonies. You maybe had a couple thousand French people in, what is called Louisiana Territory. So when the United States gained this land, right, they opened it up for settlement and colonization. They wanted to expand their empire, which meant, you know, stealing more uh, land from the Native Americans, introducing more land for spreading of slavery. Um, the Haitian Revolution is really such a watershed moment in history. I think it gets overlooked by a lot of historians because, first of all, it's a black revolution. The idea that African people um, sit up here and they believe that African people struck for their own freedom and actually beat the three most powerful empires at the time is just it flies in the face of the idea of white supremacy, or white people are superior, black people are inferior. But yeah, they added this land, and then also too you started to have the process of Indian removal. So they got this land in 1804. By 1830s, the idea was to move the tribes of the Southeast, the Cherokee, the Creek, the Choctaw, the Chickasaw, and the Seminole. The idea was to move them west because they discovered gold in Georgia. So the Louisiana Territory then led to the resettlement of Native Americans, the expansion of slavery into the places like Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama. All of these things made it worse for African people. So I think that we really don't think how much the United States is basically the most dangerous threat to humanity in the world right now. It's crazy when we don't think about how this country is governed by psychopaths with nuclear weapons, and the Louisiana Purchase kind of just made them stronger. In fact, if I take it back a little bit further, um, at the end of they call it the 7 Years' War in Europe, but we call it the French and Indian War in North America. The At the end of that war between the British colonies and the French and their Indian allies, the France lost. And then, as a way to pay for the war, the British started hitting their colonists with taxes, which of course they didn't want to pay. But also there was some boundaries put in place. So the 13 colonies were not to expand beyond the Appalachian Mountains. So this was a way for the British to have a buffer zone between themselves and the indigenous population. So of course they didn't like that. So the Americans decided to that was actually one of the um, triggers for the American Revolution, is that the Americans were the colonies were to keep from going any further west in the mountains. Of course they didn't like that. And then with the French, with Haiti being added, after the Haitian Revolution, Napoleon wants to sell because with the loss of Saint Domingue, the Louisiana Territory is nowhere near as profitable. It allows him to get the money he needs to fight on the continent. He's currently at war with England on the mainland of Europe, so he needed that money. So it was a win-win for everybody involved, except for the Africans and the indigenous people, who it wasn't a win for. It was really just more to enrich our enemy, and we're still dealing with the effects of that today. So I've said enough. I will leave it there. Thank you, Koku.
I appreciate that. Black Steel. With that said, let me go to Oni next. How Haiti helped to create the USA.
Yeah, what I would say is I don't like this prompt at all. I don't like the premise of this prompt. I know it was a decently informative video, so I'm not trying to be a hater. But I don't like the idea of black people taking credit for things, like just things outside of them. Okay, you are kicking ass in Haiti. I agree. But to say that you helped create the United States because of that is like, no, you know what I mean? Like France took a L and sold some of his property. That's just it. You know, France took a L and sold some of his property. It's like if somebody, I don't know, beats my ass, you know, and then in order to pay for my medical bills, I sell my PS5, right? Um, and that person comes along and tells somebody else, the only reason why you got a PS5 is because I beat his ass. You know, you gotta give me credit. Like, no, I don't gotta give you credit. He sold his. I mean, like, there is that cause and effect, but it's not like one, it's not intentional, and two, it doesn't benefit you one way or the other. You know, so it's just like stop taking credit for things that are like machines to destroy you. This same United States comes in and like literally destroys Haiti. You know, and what I mean by destroys Haiti, what I mean is that one of the things about Haiti that was so profound was, in its original constitution, it said no white person can own land here. And up until the American invasion, which, you know, Buana pointed out had also African Americans in it, but that's just, you know, side note, right? But up until that American invasion, no white person owned land in Haiti, which is, again, that's a really profound statement because, you know, there's white people who own a lot of shit in Africa right now. You know, for a nation to say no white person can own anything in this country is huge. And America came in, sent their Marines, and it wasn't that many Marines, 400, they said, right? Whatever. But they sent these Marines, took over the Haitian economy, and changed that constitution and said, nope, white people can own land. And sure enough, white people now. So it's just like, so when a white state gets bigger, and now you're brushing your shoulder off. And this is exactly what I was talking about in the whole colonial conversation. We do not we don't seem to get that making your enemy stronger is making you weaker. You know, and this is why I'll go back to this. There's only a handful of white people I recommend people go read. One of them is Machiavelli. And Machiavelli says, look, let me find the wisdom of the elders. Okay? Let me go find the wisdom that's been passed down for generations. And one of them is whatever benefits my enemy harms me, and whatever harms me, no, whatever harms my enemy benefits me. So the fact, and if you don't understand, and I think that's the thing, a lot of people don't understand that America is like let's just put it this way, the worst geopolitical entity on the planet. Okay, it is the leading terrorist stage on the planet. So I would never I would never brag about making this terrible colonial imperialist state any better. You know what I mean? Like, I would never do that. And so obviously I don't even give Haiti credit for this Louisiana Purchase. I think that's a French thing, right? But outside of that, I think black people looking to have some sort of part, some sort of role, how I contributed to America. I fought in every war, that kind of bullshit, right? I think that is, put it frankly, I think that's pathetic. And I think I personally don't like. I don't think that's a conversation that we should be having. I'm not sorry, not that we shouldn't be having it. What I mean is, I think that that's a weird argument to make. But I mean, the history aside, like I said, I wouldn't even personally, looking at the facts as stated, I wouldn't even give Haiti credit for this, right? Because Haiti had no role in the negotiation, honestly. It was like France and America. But I also like I could see the interconnection between geopolitical happenstances, but again, I wouldn't give the credit there, especially because Haiti is not a beneficiary, and of course, everybody suffers under the growth of America. Now, yeah, everybody suffers from the growth of America. So that's pretty much what I would say.
I appreciate that, Oni. I really do, because it crossed my mind. I think, not that I think, I know Anthony said it in the chat. It crossed his mind too that it did help to expand America, to expand its reach and power. So there's that to think about. If you're Haitian out there and you're listening, man, click the link. Join the conversation. Give us your thoughts. We don't have any representatives of Haiti up here tonight. Like a Zuli or someone like that, click the link. Join us for this discussion. What say you to all of it? Wanda, you're muted if you're talking.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me? 1, 2. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah. So
Are you saying
this conversation really wasn't directed towards
No. I was saying
and his lot. This conversation was really directed towards. Yeah. So this conversation was really directed towards. Let me come back. Let me come back and use the phone instead.
No.
I see myself cutting out for some reason. I don't know.
Okay. While Buana does that, does anyone want to add any backup thought to what they said previously on this topic?
No, I wasn't saying you were you were cutting out. You started like not stuttering, but like your internet started stuttering. And then I guess Buana started repeating himself. I don't know. But no, you were. I think the stream is still going.
Yeah, I think Buana was on a delay.
Started stuttering. Yeah.
I think Buana was on a delay, perhaps, or something, because it seemed like he was responding to things a little bit after the time. But Buana's back now. Buana, what say you? Unmute your mic, Buana.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. Yeah, it sounds a little choppy, but go ahead. Let's see if we can make out what you're saying.
Oh goodness. Okay. So this conversation really wasn't directed towards the brothers on the panel. It was really directed towards.
Yeah, Buana, you're choppy. Can you
I'll come back. Oh, go ahead. I'll come back on the track and I'll up again. I'll come back. Go ahead.
Well, we are overtime.
Yeah,
I just do it another time, bro. Any other time, you just go ahead and close it out.
All right. Well, that's the show tonight. I actually was gonna go to a quick prompt, but one that we didn't get to last week.
You can go. We still have time, because I wanted to talk about that movie today. So if you want to go to that prompt, no.
All right. I'll go to another prompt. Want to fix your audio in the meantime, if you don't mind. Let me get to it. Shoot the breeze. Topic number 5. If Buana comes back, he could respond to that previous topic as well. But in the meantime, we'll go shoot the breeze topic number 5. I think it's a pretty quick one, but it might go on for a bit.